In this video, I am going to talk about some advanced concept of Docker. So far, whatever you have learned, it is all about working on a Docker image on your local environment. However, in a real industry problem or a real world problem, that may not be sufficient. In those cases, different types of deployment may be required. For example, for some kind of workload, you may need to install Docker on your virtual host. At that point of time, you may think of using Docker Machine, which is basically a tool that lets you install Docker engine on virtual host and make all the data available from your virtual host to your local machine. Furthermore, you may think of utilizing Docker in your cloud-based environment. Also, you may think of doing distributed computing with Docker, which are very commonplace nowadays in industry, especially in the era of big data. So those things are also possible to address by deploying Docker in different way, in advanced way. For example, Docker Compose. It is a tool for defining and running multi-container Docker applications, which can address all the distributed problems. Docker Swarm is another way to address the distributed computation. Although they address the similar type of problems, because of their fundamental design philosophy as well as the working principle, they both have their own pros and cons. However, when it comes to distributed computing or cloud-based environment, the most popular standard is to utilize Docker container in conjunction with Kubernetes. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration system for automating computer application deployment, scaling, and management. Kubernetes can manage many Docker containers together in a very easy fashion. And that type of management is extremely important when it comes to distributed computing or let's say a big data problem. In this type of problem, each of the Docker container is responsible to handle very small part of data, and then together in conjunction with Kubernetes, utilizing the modern distributed computing algorithms, all the Docker containers forms a cluster to solve the big data problem. So these are just to give you the idea that what is going on in the market, what is the current industry standard, and where we are moving forward. However, for this Docker 101 course, these advanced topics are out of the scope of this course, and this will be the topic for the next advanced level course that we are going to introduce very soon.